Um, with Dan's morals, what of those of yours and his crossover? What do you think he goes too far on?
You assume he's the one who would go farther than me, huh? So I was talking with Kim about this, and Timothy and I talked about, what could Dan do? What should he do? What shouldn't he do? And in the end, Timothy made the statement that, this is this final version is kind of a tamed down version from the things that we talked about. He says, what happened to all those other things that we talked about? I said, well, Dan is a less harsh person than maybe I was when I was developing the story. And as I thought about it more, I thought, well, sometimes taking your anger out feels really good, but it's not always productive.
Correct.
And so I don't know if Dan goes too far. I think in my mind I had gone too far in certain places, and so I kind of dialed it back and I said, let's not go overboard. Let's not have the crazy, wizard god, whatever, who just goes out and starts wiping out all of these people and doing all these crazy things. Let's bring it down to something that is a little bit more palatable. So I don't know if there are places that I can think of right off my head where Dan went too far. I think that there are places that maybe he didn't go far enough. I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't have a really good example of a place where I think he went too far. I do know that when early on, I was sharing drafts of the story with different people, and there's a scene where the first person dies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think about it too deeply, you might assume that death is attributed to Dan, that Dan killed someone. He didn't. But the person that I was talking to, that I shared an early draft with, said, he killed these people. You actually let them die. And I'm like, yes, they did die, but not from Dan. They died because of their choices. They were told what the consequences of their actions were. They chose those actions and they died because of it. And I think when you get to that scene, I don't think you've gotten to that scene yet. When you get to that scene, I think you'll go, yeah, Dan wasn't responsible for that. They were warned ahead of time. And the actions that they chose were disregarding life of other people.